Hello and welcome. In this video, we will continue learning about variables. Alright? Now, this here is the basic structure of a Java program. You can see there is space here, which means this comes under this. Okay? So, this is indented. Now, between these two brackets, we need to write the instructions or codes. And let me write int a is equal to 3. I'll have to end it using colon. You can see there is a space here too, or this is indented too. That means this comes under this. Okay, so there must be space here, there must be space here. All right, now I'll say int b equal to 6. Okay, int b equal to 6. Now you know that if we do integer division, we'll get the result as an integer, correct? So let me say system dot out dot print ln, okay, and let me say b divided by a, and let me close it here and let me run the program to get 2 as result. Okay, 2 as result. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. Now let me have 7 here and let me divide it. Now I get 2. Okay, so we really have point something here, but that point is removed and you know it, correct? Now here, by saying double, we can get a double result. Okay, now see, what I have done is I have converted b into a decimal point value. Alright, so here I am saying a equal to 3 integer, b equal to 7 integer. When I divide b by a, I get 2. The point something is neglected or omitted out. So what I am doing here is I am saying convert the b value to a decimal value by using double. Okay, so what is double? Double is a data type, so you know that, correct? So by using double in bracket, I am saying convert b, which is an integer, to a decimal value, double data type, and then divide by a. So what happens to b when it is converted into a decimal value? It becomes 7.0. So 7.0 divided by 3, which is a, we get this result. Okay, so this is called as type conversion. Now instead of having double here, you can also have it here and you can get the same result. Alright, now here what we are saying is divide b by the decimal value of a. So a is 3, decimal value of a is 3.0. That is obtained by using this. Okay, we are changing int to double using double inside bracket. So 7 divided by 3.0 is this. Okay, so this is type conversion. Now you must remember that this value is not changed. We are not changing the value that is stored in a. We are just converting a into double or decimal value in this step only. So in a, it is still integer value. We are not converting into decimal. We are converting it into decimal value only for this step. Okay, only for this step. Alright. Yes. Now let me delete this. We can define a variable and assign the value later. Let me show you how. Let me say int a. That's all. Okay, int a. I do not want to say what should be stored in a. Okay, so I'm just saying let a be a variable and I'm going to store an integer value in it. That's all. Later in the program, you can say a is equal to 4. Alright, a is equal to 4. And then you can print it. Okay, you can print it to get to get 4. So here I've just defined it. Here I've initialized it. Okay. Here there is no value. Here I've assigned a value and I'm printing it out here. Okay. Now this is one more thing. Next, coming to different types of data. I'll go to this to show you this. Okay. There are two types of or two classifications of data types in Java. One is primitive type and another one is non-primitive type. Okay. So these are primitive data types and non-primitive data types are strings, arrays and classes, which we will learn in later lessons. Okay. Now we have been using int. Correct? So here you can see int. So int is a data type. Now it occupies 4 bytes of memory. It needs 4 bytes of memory. Okay, it takes up 4 bytes of memory, and the value that you can store in int is from this to this. Okay, so this is the range of values that you can store in int data type. So from minus this to plus this. So how much have we stored? It is 4. We have stored 4, which falls between this range. Okay. So even if you store 4 or 4000 it will take the same space in the memory. Okay, it will be 4 bytes no matter what value you store. Now byte and short also store whole numbers along with long. Okay, so basically byte, short, int and long all store integer values or whole numbers, but their ranges are different. Okay, so basically I can say byte here, and I can run it to get, so you can see I'm trying to store 4000 here, which is out of range. I can store values from minus 128 to 127. That is why I'm getting this error, because I'm trying to save or store 4000 in A. So in byte data type I cannot store more than 127. Alright, so let me have 4, and you can see I get 4 as a result. So 4 falls in this category. Okay, so short is also one more data type. So you can have short A, and this is the range of values that you can fit in that. And similarly, long is one more data type which has very big range or huge range. Okay, huge range. But for our purpose, int is sufficient, and that is why we are using int here. Okay, int. So int is enough unless there is a necessity to use byte or short. Okay, depending on memory. Okay, now similarly, float and double stores fractional values or decimal values. Float and double both store decimal values, and once again the range is different. Okay, so float can store up to 6 to 7 decimal digits, whereas double can store till 15 decimal digits. Decimal digits, what is it? After point, how many numbers? Okay. Now you can see the memory that it needs is 8 bytes and here it is 4 bytes. Alright. So for normal operations, float is enough. Okay. If the decimal value falls between this range or is less than 7 digits, if it is more, then double. Okay. Generally we take double and int everywhere. Alright. In Java programming we take double and int everywhere. Okay. Next we have data type Boolean, which we generally use in conditionals. Okay. So we can store true or false values in it. So let me show you. Let me delete this. Let me say Boolean C equal to true. Alright, I am storing value true and I am printing it out. And here you can see it is C, not A. Okay, so I got the error. So true. Okay, true. Or you can save or store false in it. So that is the only, or these are the only two that you can store in Boolean. It is either true or false. Now the application of this comes in conditionals. So when we start learning about conditionals, this will make sense to you. Till then, this will be vague. Okay. Next is CHAR. Okay, character for CHAR. Now this works on Unicode, so it stores single digits or various special symbols. Let's not go into this right now, okay, because the usage is less for us here. We'll come across this when it matters. All right. The data type that we generally use or we have used till now is string. Okay. So when we said it's raining and when we said my first program, all these things, we were using string data type. String data type uses characters of English alphabet. Okay. So generally it will be in the form of words. Okay. Generally it will be in the form of words. So here I'll say string name, okay, is equal to Ravi. Okay, string name equal to Ravi, and here I'll print name. So this program has errors, so I'll tell you what they are. So let me run it, and you can see I have these many errors. Now the first thing is strings must be in quotes. Okay, strings must be in quotes. Numbers, integers, floats, all these things need not be or should not be in quotes, but the strings must be inside quotes. So let me run it to get one more error. Now this is because the first letter of string is in lowercase here. Okay. Okay. So it has to be in uppercase. So here int, for double, it is in lowercase. Okay. I is small, D is small. Alright. So let me delete it. But the S of string must be in capital letters. Okay. Capital letters. So you must remember that. So now let me run it to get Ravi. Okay. So string data types store words like this, English words like this. Okay. Home. And let me run it to get home. Okay. So this is one more important data type, string, which we use in our programming language. Alright. Yes. Next we come to naming of variables. So how to name it? So here when we name or assign a name to a variable, it must be meaningful. So up until now I have been saying A, okay, A equal to something, B equal to something, which should not be the case, we must be descriptive, or we must give descriptive names for variables. Alright, so home, what is this? It is a place. Okay, so I'll say place. So place, it must be like this. Or if you're storing name of the person, so it must be like F name, okay, which stands for first name. So here I'll say Ravi, and here it is F name. Okay, so first name. If you just say A equal to Ravi, you might be able to understand it, but someone who looks at your program will not be able to understand what you have written. So that is why it is better if you say like this. Okay, first name. This is better than F name. Okay, first name. And similarly last name, and instead of saying POB, you can say place of birth, alright. So give descriptive names to variables. So we'll use this in every program, so it will come naturally to you. Okay. Next, name of a variable can contain characters like this. It can have numbers. Okay, it can have numbers. It can have underscores. Okay, underscores, and it can have dollar sign. Okay, it can have dollar sign. Now this is a valid key. This is a valid variable name. So let me run it to get tell you. Okay, this is valid variable name, but generally we do not use dollar symbol and underscore. Okay, generally we do not use dollar symbol and underscore, and we cannot start the name of the variable from a number. So the first letter should always be an English letter. Okay, English letter. So P. So it can be place of birth 1, 2, 3, but it cannot be 1, 2, 3 place of birth. Okay, it cannot be 1, 2, 3 place of birth. So you get an error. So I'll run it, and I have an error here. The name of the variable should not start with numbers. Okay. Next, let me delete this. Yeah, let me delete this too. Generally we use camel case. Okay, camel case. That is, if you want to have more than one word for a variable, then we write it like this. So as I have already showed you. So place, this is the first word, then next word should start with capital letter of, and then next word should start with capital letter birth. Okay, birth. So apart from the first word should start with small letter. Apart from first word, rest of the words should start with capital letter or uppercase. Okay, we call it as capital letter here. So uppercase, and there must be no space between them. Okay, so place of birth or first name. First, so F small, and then name, N capital. Okay, so this is called as camel case, and we have one more case, snake case, where we use underscore. Okay, underscore. You can use this also, but generally we use camel case. Alright, so this has to be like this, F name. Alright, so this needs to be taken care of by you. Alright, so these are the rules. These are the rules of variables. I hope you have understood. From the next video, we'll start taking input from users and start writing program. Alright, so I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and thank you for watching.